Hello everyone and welcome back to PAX and Recreation, and today we are going back to the past in Bundlemania because we're going to Commander Legends, Dungeons and Dragons, Battle for Baldur's Gate, the bundle, the movie, the game. So now with 8 set boosters. You crazy guys! So remember this set? This was one of those. This was when Wizards starting little by little dipping their toes into what if we did things that are not really magic in Magic, right? And this set wasn't the standard legal, but it was everything else legal, right? And it was like, hey, listen, this is still a set. Listen, we have a bundle, right? It was not like a secret there. It was an actual thing. It was like, listen, we have things. And he's like, listen, it's Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons is not like an external IP, right? We also own Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons is Magic, right? Magic, Dungeons and Dragons, Magic is like the same. Don't worry, this is not gonna get out of control. Fast forward to today, and here it is. We should have expected it when the hamster was here as the forefront, but it is what it is, right? So this is the bundle for Commander Legends, Commander Legends, Dungeons and Dragons, Battle for Baldur's Gate. Still the retro packaging, the current packaging, which is like the simplified, compact bundle. With all the hamstery magic, see, same illustration. Now this is one of those, right? You get an oversized D20, you get 20 traditional foil and 20 regular basic lands, so nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. You get 8 15 card Commander Legends set boosters. So as always, I will always remind this because this is one of those tricks. 8 15 card, which is funny that they do it this way, because you can count them, but yeah, you see like 15 and your eyes immediately think there are 15, but you know, the number is here, so I mean, it is what it is. An alt card traditional foil Wand of Wonder and a box. So as usual, we are here for the box and for the 20, but this was the same year that Magic was about to be 30 years old, right? The same year as the Brothers' War. So they brought Dungeons and Dragons. And Dungeons and Dragons plus Magic the Gathering equals a foreboding fate. And we have met a terrible fate, haven't we? So let's open this amazing logo. I always love the versions of the Magic logo. I don't know who does them, but they are crazy. And when there are things that actually go outside of the symbol, great. When it's just a symbol version, in with leaves or with stained glass or whatever, is lovely. I love it. But when it's something around it, and in this case, the "and" for Dungeons and Dragons going around it, premium design, guys. Whoever did that, I love you. So let's see. Nothing but a clean, white, beautiful box and an insert. The insert said, an oversized card. The insert plus two reference cards. There is no reference to the oversized card. Here, at least. Commander Legends meets D&D in this exciting crossover set. Power up your Commander decks with iconic legendary creatures from Dungeons and Dragons, brand new background cards, and tons of other multiplayer. Nope. Let's remember that this set is the one that a lot of people call a disappointment, because we came from the previous Commander Legends set, and that one a lot of people liked, and that's the one that introduced Jewel Lotus, among other things. So when this one came out, people were like, crazy, but it's not full of broken cards like Jewel Lotus. So for a lot of people, this set is just meh. And I have to agree to some degree. Now, what I don't have to agree is the Commander decks that are here represented to some degree. These Commander decks are some of the better ones that have been released, right? So most of these ones. So a interesting insert, not the craziest looking art in my opinion, but I believe is to be in the style of old Dungeons and Dragons books. So okay, and a map for Baldur's Gate, and yeah, this was also trying, but it was too early to cash in and bank into Baldur's Gate 3. I guess they did not expect that Baldur's Gate 3 was such a good and brilliant game. So Even the most hardened adventurers watch their step in Baldur's Gate, where lives hold prices in copper and greed proves deadlier than dragonfire. You have the upper city, the lower city, and the outer city, right? So the outer city, without the protection of walls or the town guard folk, the outer city form a tight-knit communities to survive. Those who go into it alone are easy victims of the criminals and cultists who plague the city. So cool. This is lovely because you can actually, as I normally say, you can actually, some people actually do frame these, the inserts. But this is lovely because it actually gives you context about what the hell Baldur's Gate is and some of the D&D lore, which is great, right? Lower city. By day, the chaotic streets of the lower city are filled with the bustle of trade and commerce. By night, folk bar. Folk bar. It's not like bar folk, like people that live in bars. Is folk bar their doors while cultists, murderers, and thieves ply their dark trade. So it's bad everywhere. And the upper city is beautiful parks and elegant mansions are isolated by thick walls and heavily guarded gates. Only aristocrats and their servants are allowed here, right? So it is what it is. Beautiful insert, one of the best inserts historically. And we got this crazy thing here that is not advertised anywhere, and this is a map of the Undercity, which is interesting and great because a lot of cards will use the Undercity. Now, I love oversized cards. They remind me of a better time with commander decks and oversized commanders. The hellish thing is to sleeve these things because there was a time where it was kind of easy to find sleeves for this. And there was a time where we even got inner sleeves and outer sleeves for this, which, you know, for a double sleeve freak like me, that was like the dream. And I actually bought a lot of those. I have stock, like I'm not worried. And I still have the stock because we don't get that many of these, right? But this is cool, and I find it lovely that it comes with a bundle because, yeah, reading the normal Undercity card, if you have poor eyesight, it feels like reading a Yu-Gi-Oh card, right? So you can't enter this dungeon unless you venture into the Undercity, right? So, and not to be confused with the lower city or the upper, lower, or outer city. This is the Undercity. It's the thing that is underneath, which is funny that it's not mentioned in this thing. And in case you've never played with this, I guess the goal of this is that you have cards that say venture into the Undercity, which immediately you put a counter in here, which triggers something, right? Search the library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. And then every time you ventured into the Undercity, every time you trigger an effect that ventured into the Undercity, you will pick your path, right? Based on the effect that you will like. And then the last effects, obviously, the deeper you venture, the better. When you go, you can draw a card or create a 4/1 black skeleton creature, depending on your choices. And it is well balanced. Something that I like to comment is that this was always well balanced, in my opinion. If you go to the middle to have two options, go target creature is not as good as treasure token or losing 5 life, right? So obviously, maybe for some decks, this is the best option, but you know what I mean. And then Throne of the Dead 3, reveal the top 10 cards of the library, put a creature card from among them into the battlefield with 3+1/+1 counters on it. It gains hexproof until your next turn, and then shuffle, which is Aua indeed. So we got our adventurer here that I don't remember the name for the life of me. And in an art style that I'm not crazy about it. It looks very, it gives me like Disney vibes. Mulan vibes, maybe because of the color palette and the lips. The smile is more of a DreamWorks smile. You know the meme of the DreamWorks smile? If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look for it. And the hamster that I forgot the name. I'm such a bad fan. But yeah. And then the set name, Commander Legends, Dungeons and Dragons, Battles for Baldur's Gate, is, you know, it's cool. Like the art is not going crazy for me, but it's kind of cool. I like the ones that are like a composition. In this case, you have the composition. You have the guy throwing the hamster, right? The hamster attacking the foe, right? And the logo on the two sides. So this is one of the best ones, or one of the better ones. Now, the art itself doesn't resonate with me that much, but, you know, it's subjective. So, as usual, we got the super divider that takes some damage for some reason. In this case, one cool divider, and okay, the same character again that I can't remember the name of for the sake of. I wish we pulled it. We pulled the character just for the sake of me. I think it's like Boo. It's something on Boo. I think the hamster is called Boo. but I can't remember the name of the guy. A lot of dividers and counters. These counters that just have the Dungeons and Dragons thing are kind of pointless. The reason for them, mostly in my head canon, is to use to venture into the Undercity, I guess. But yeah, I was complimenting the logo, and they are really going into the logo. They're like, man, yeah, this logo is so good. It's like, chill, bro. So, okay, now we remember the box. Remember when we had this? We no longer have this. And the die, right? So the box insides, which is cool. The little box. So we got our 8 set boosters with Boo right there. We're gonna crack them in a second. I hate the term cracking packs. It sounds such a... The 2 reference cards. Never leave home without them. And our lands and our special art or alt art card. So in this case is the Wand of Wonder, which for 3 and 1 red is one of those. Is a D20 card, which in this case is okay because it comes with a D20, which we're gonna check in a second. You roll a D20. You pay 4 and tap, so it's kind of an expensive one. It's 4 and tap, roll a D20. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery card, then shuffles the rest into their library. You may cast up to X instant and sorcery cards from among cards exiled this way without paying their mana costs. So 1 to 9, X is 1, 10 to 19, X is 2, and if you pull a 20, X is 3. So it's kind of expensive, but it's kind of powerful if you actually manage to use it. So our magic cup that is no longer with us. F in the chat, guys. And the lands from Dungeons and Dragons, which I love not only because, well, they represent places from Dungeons and Dragons, which if you play the default Dungeons and Dragons, this is very cool. But they have flavor text, which is crazy. I wish we had this more often, right? Because you have heard rumors of bandits along the coast's way, but your journey so far has been surprisingly uneventful, right? And so far, like, you get like flavor text from quests in D&D. This is great, right? I love it. I really love it. And you actually have 4 different ones. You know, they normally do like one is repeated and then you get the other 2 because it's 3 land designs. You got 4. So they really went into it. The commander decks also had the lands with flavor. A lot of people love these lands. I do believe, right, that if we're gonna do this, like at this time of life, having the land art so in this contained, just put text in here, right? It's like whatever. Now, some people don't like this because they say that if they see text on a card, they expect it to be a land with an effect, so it can get confusing for you or for you checking your opponent's card. So they may have like the lands like this, and you'll be like, what is that? Because, you know, you will be like, oh, well, it has the symbol here. It's obvious. Like, well, if you've seen cards from Ravnica or from Tarkir, they do have the clan symbol in the back. So it doesn't really mean that. So I get why some people don't like it and think it's confusing. I get it. I wished it had like bigger art, at least a different layout, so that it will be more difficult to confuse them from across the distance with a card with an effect. Because see, if I put it like this, and you had no context, you will be like, wait, is that a special effect land? It's not, it's just slower, right? So I like them, but always remembering that Magic is a game first, and then a collectible, an art thing, or gambling. I do understand that thing can be confusing. Now, before we go into the boosterinos, let's talk about the die. One of the weirdest dies, right? Like, one of the weirdest dies, because die is the singular. One of the weirdest dies in the, or die, whatever. One of the weirdest things we have seen so far, mostly because of the color combination, right? So you have this red thing that I don't know if it's supposed to be leather. Like, I don't know what it's trying to, like, yes, this is the color palette of the thing, right? So I guess it's the cape, and, you know, is the color palette of it's leather, I guess, right? So, and then golden because why not, right? But it's weird. Now, one thing that I want to point out is that this thing has a very intense yellow, which, well, at least is easy to read. Some others we can't say the same. The only critique that I have of this is it does have a pointer in a lot of places for no good reason, and I don't know if it's a D&D thing. Like, say, like this is 20, right? As we are accustomed to, and then if you go, let's go like in numerical order, right? So where is 1? Oh, actually, oh, okay, 1 is here. So 1, right? And then 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, so you get to 6. And this is 6. And the way we know it is because it has a dot in here. Cool. But this is 9. And the way we know it, because, you know, if you grab the die like this, because that's another weird thing, is like not all numbers are in the same disposition. So you're going to be like, well, this is a 9. And it has a dot there, so you know it's a 9. It's like, okay, I guess. But then the weirdest thing is that, and it all happens in this crown, 16 has a dot in there too. And it's like, was it needed? Like, the font you're using, this is very clearly a 1. Like, was it needed? Like, you really think someone gonna look at this and go like, oh, 91, better brace? It's like, no. Same with 19. Maybe they playtest the die and they were like, oh, it's confusing, but this doesn't happen in the modern die, so I don't know if it's a D&D thing or what, or maybe as we go back in the past, this was more prominent and I just never noticed it. But it's kind of interesting. Now, visually is, you know, up to your taste, depending on whether you think it's cool or not. I think it's cool because we don't get that many in this color, just like reddish thing, and it's 100% opaque, right? So nothing transparent, nothing anything. The number coloring is weird, but I can't think of other color that gives a good contrast. So overall, pretty cool. Approved. Now, let's go boosterinos. Let's go. Boosterinos. Let's go. So set boosters. This one have draft boosters, collector boosters, if I recall correctly, and these ones. So some amazing pieces of art here, and the art cards in here are actually creature cards, which I think this is the best creature card for D&D, right? For Dungeons and Dragons. So I think this is one of the best things they ever did with art cards. And it's pretty cool because normally art cards on the back are pretty meh. It's just like the name of the set and then the artist name, which is important to have the artist name. But this one is more like, no, listen, you can actually play D&D with this. So, and very cool, sexy looking art. So love those. The special lands. So they really gave an extra to this. And by the way, we also got this back in the day. That's true. The Dungeons and Dragons character sheet style of art for the cards. Some people hate this with a passion. I don't dislike it. I kind of like the weird art style, very, you know, I guess 80s, when I think it was 80s, when the original books were printed before Wizards. And then, you know, they kind of keep that style. You get a lot of normal spells. You know, overall, it's a normal set. It is supposed to be for Commander, so you do get legendary creatures and whatnot, but it's not only for Commander. The Magic has always been very flexible in that regard. So you got a lot of Myriad, a lot of legendary creatures, 9 Fingers Keen, Menace, and War. You pay 9 life, which is 1 for each finger you have. You got the top 9 cards of your library. You may put gate cards from among them. Oh, let's see if we can pull a gate so I can show you. Master Chef is a background. So backgrounds are a very interesting ability that it's sadly, or type of card, sorry, that sadly is not used that much. So I guess we need to wait for another Universes Beyond thing with Dungeons and Dragons for it to come back. But you know how you can do commander with partners, and then it was kind of broken, so they did like partner with a specific card, so that you could only work it in a specific pair. Backgrounds are kind of that, but instead of being 2 creatures, is a creature and enchantment. It's pretty cool. See, like commander creatures you own have this creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it, and other additional +1/+1. Other creatures you control enter the battlefield with additional +1/+1 counter on them. So a lot of cool things. Remember the matte foil, or like what was the name of this treatment? Edge foil. Yeah, edge. Yeah, sure. Reflecting pool, our mana of any type that your land you control will produce, which is a very good card, I have to say. Marble Diamond. These cards in foil always look great because, well, and a card from the list. So overall, a very fun pack. Gravespawn Sovereign. 5 untap zombies you control. Put target creature card from a graveyard into play under your control. Not bad, but for 6, it is what it is. So that's kind of the fun that we are looking into. We had backgrounds already. We have a lot of possible commanders. You saw the lands. See, look at this beautiful thing. Beautiful. And then Young Blue Dragon. Boom. See, like these things are gorgeous, man. We should do more like this. When Magic gets funny with the way they do things, I like it, right? So when it's like, oh, see, this thing that we already do, look at the special treatment. But it's a special treatment in the sense that we are being playful with it. This is one of those. Remember in one of my previous videos that I said, oh yeah, guys, set boosters are not really random, and draft boosters technically weren't either, because they want to ensure some consistency. And I said, for draft boosters, I get it. For set boosters, I never got it because it's not for play, it's just for fun and collecting. And well, here's an example. See, Charcoal Diamond, Moss Diamond, Fire Diamond, Charcoal Diamond, twice, Sky Diamond, Marble Diamond. See, random my ass. So there you have it. Cards that are kind of good for Commander are very flexible, but you're not going to, it's not a Mox. It's the poor version of a Mox. Val, Candlekeep Researcher, Stone King, Rasadin Bashir, which almost sounded like Dune 2. Lisana Gaib. So there you go. Ganax, almost the studio that made Evangelion. Astral Hunter. We haven't pulled a black card yet. Candlekeep Sage. So we have our Candlekeepers here. Renari, Merchant of Marbles. I do prefer edge foils than normal foils. This thing bend less and are matte or mate or whatever you want to call it, which to me it's a lot sexier when it comes to art and deforming the colors of the art. Ancient Copper Dragon, so not a bad pool for 4 and 2 red flying. Whenever Ancient Copper Dragon deals combat damage to the player, roll a d20. You create a number of treasure tokens equal to the result. Yikes! And Trailblazer Torch in foil, not bad. And then an Ox token, beautiful Ox, and an ad because I wasn't buying Magic before. Wait, unless this ad is for D&D. Yeah, okay, this ad is for D&D. This time you get a pass wizard. Because, if I'm a Magic player, I'm buying Magic cards just because, why not? And, look at this beautiful, gorgeous thing. Balor, or Baldur. Huge Fiend Demon. Challenge 19. Damn. The art is just on point. Damn. Foil Island. Traskus the Butcher. Nimble Raid Schematic. There you go, the black cards, all in this booster. Miracle Invoker, Geode Golem, Meteor Golem, Fireball, whoop whoop, Thunderwave. So Fireball, Thunderwave, 2 more, and we have the whole moveset for a Pokemon. Cloud Kill, which will be toxic, that makes sense. And, Bane, Lord of Darkness. So sadly not a Pokemon move. But not bad, it's a god. As long as your life total is less than or equal half a certain life, Bane, Lord of Darkness, has indestructible. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, the opponent may have you draw a card. If they don't, you may put a creature card with equal or lesser toughness from your hand onto the battlefield. Yikes. Agent of the Iron Throne, a background, not bad, very cool. And an edge foil Baal. Well, this wouldn't be Baal. This would be like Baal because of the H. Another god, Lord of Murder. I'm going to read them all, otherwise this video is going to be eternal. Mighty Servant of Leuco. Okay, not bad. Oh yeah, some of the dual cards. This case is a Ghost Lantern in foil and the Initiative. You have the Initiative. Whenever one or more creature players control deal combat damage to you, that player takes initiative. Whenever you take the initiative, and at the beginning of your upkeep, venture into the Undercity, right? So this is this is a normal Undercity card, right? This is the way it's meant to be played. I find it funny that it comes with an oversized Undercity card and is not advertised anywhere. It's just weird. Another beautiful art card, Adult Green Dragon. So these things are gorgeous. A mountain. And now, Googles of Night, Marble Diamond. So, okay, they are not doing the whole cycle again. Armor of Shadows, Lantern of Revealing, Chain Devil, Marut, Slaughter the Strong, Far Traveler, which is a background, Beckoning Will-O-Wisp, Baal again, or Bahal again, Shameless Charlatan, yes I am, how did you know? Commander creatures you own have 2 and 1 blue. This creature becomes a copy of another target creature. See, backgrounds. Backgrounds can do a lot. Ooh, one of the face cards from the draft. This is the face card from the draft booster boxes, or the set booster boxes. Well, one of those. Lazil, Valkyn's Champion in foil. This is a pretty cool card. Traverse the Outlands is a sorcery. Draconic Lore. And Magic minigame, Mimic Match, which is very cool. Remember this? The Magic minigames, and normally those are flavors to the set that you are actually opening, which is pretty cool. Ooh, something that is not as fancy but equally cool looking. It is a normal art series card. See, this is the these are cool, but those are gorgeous. I think I got pretty lucky that I got all those. I don't know. Island, yeah, all sorts of art styles. Erinis, Gloomstalker, another fire diamond. So you got a lot of diamonds. In case you couldn't read what the diamond does, each diamond, which they have different types, one for each color, they are just mana rocks that are very slow. They cost you 2, they enter tapped, and then they give you mana. So it's not like they are crazy good. That's why people are not going crazy over them. You have no maximum hand size, and tap at 1 mana of any color. So not bad. It's like a Wayfarer. Wayfarer is the thing. Scion of Halaster, it's another background. Dire Mimic. Artifact Treasure. Manor Gate. So here are the gates. It's a type of land, and gates, well, they are, depends on the gate, but most of them are like dual land sort of thing. But it's just a type of land. It's like the deserts that we got later down the road. A lot of red cards, Taunting Kobold, because why not? Gut, True Soul Zealot. Okay. Inspiring Leader. Rilsa, Real Kingpin in Edge Foil. Noble Heritage. Okay, this is a cool background. Background's normally kind of cheap, in case. Two-Handed Axe in foil. And a card from the list. Archway Angel. Flying, when Archway Angel enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life for each gate you control. See? Gates. So, gates were not invented with Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate. They just kind of recover them. A more classic art series card, Zevlor Etrial Exile from David Raposa, or David Raposa, I don't know. A Swampy. Seabreeze Nightmare Speaker. Lausanne Dragon's Legacy. Okay, I say again, some people don't like those treatments. I'm okay with them. I mean, I'm not going crazy over them, but it's not like, oh, they destroyed my magic. Trust me, but when these cards were released in 2022, they had plenty of time to release things to destroy Magic together afterwards. Minthara, Merciless Soul. Contraband, Livestock. Mazi, True Sword Paladin. Flaming Fist, which is a background. Master Chef, putting Edge Foil. Undermountain Adventurer is a giant warrior, not bad. Barum Brawl, a foil Stirring Strike. and a treasure token. That is not. For Friday Night Magic. In case you've never heard of it, I guess. Which is possible, trying to be as fair as possible. It's possible that you never heard of Seabreeze, which is the card that we pulled 2 cards ago. This one. There you go. See? So, cool. Planes. Cloak of the Bat. Equipped creature has flying and haste. Equipped 2, so it costs you 4. It's not the craziest card. Ghastly Death Tyrant. Bane's Invoker. Timora's Invoker. Baal's Invoker. See where this is going? Rescuer Chwinga. Inspired Tinkering. Guild Artisan, okay. Swashbuckler Extraordinaire. Serbok Deathbringer. Tavern Brawler, so I guess we're pulling a tavern card on each booster at this point. Mazi, again. True Sword Paladin. Okay, not bad. See? In both Edge Foil and normal. Milrain, Sentinel Wyrm. This is one of those. This is kind of cool. It's Dragon Spirit. Whenever another non-token, it has flying ward too, and whenever another non-token dragon enters the battlefield in your control, create a token that's a copy of it, except the token isn't legendary if that dragon is legendary. Pegasus Guardian in foil, a gorgeous card, and the initiative because we get the Undercity. And the last booster of this blast from the past. There is the bundle. Got another special treatment art card is Ancient Copper Dragon, which actually no, okay, we pull the card, not the art card. Okay, a beautiful forest with flavor text, charcoal diamond, because it's funny that diamonds are like in Magic, but opals, no that. Hold my beer. Livan calls this Tiamat. Sylvanas Invoker, Robin Harper, Steering Bard, Insufferable Balladeer, which is sometimes they are both Criminal Past, Ambitions Cost. Those two are connected most of the time. Silvery's Nightmare Speaker, again, but this time in normal, which the normal art is kind of beautiful too. Astarion the Decadent. So, ladies, here is Astarion. That character that you know because of Baldur's Gate 3, it existed before. So, Vampire Elf Rogue, Death Touch, Lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, choose one. You can feed, which means target opponent loses life equal to the amount of life they lost this turn. Or you can be friends. You gain life equal to the amount of life you gain this turn. So, very, very Orzhov. Acolyte of Behemoth. Technically it's Bahamut, but Got True Soul Sealet in Edge Foil. I never know how to pronounce his name. I think it's if I read it literally, it's Laezel Acrobatics. Since she's an elf, I'm assuming it will be Laezel Acrobatics because Legolas and everything. All the elf names have the accent on the first block, so it will be Legolas. In this case, it will be Laezel, I guess. Oh, I don't know. So it's one of those instances with a D20. So you roll for a skill check. Kenku Artificer in foil and a treasure token. That is also a what is the list? We pulled 2 from the list, so that's not bad. And that's the bundle. Now, is it worth it to buy? Well, back in the day, actually yes, a little bit. If you had the commander decks from Battle from Baldur's Gate, which are 4 and they are great, and I think we opened those in one of the first videos. I don't recall. Well, we have those, right? So the thing is, we play with those. Those are kind of very powerful, and I like them. Well, at least 2 of them are very powerful. The other 2 are very good too. Overall, very good decks. A lot of them have the Undercity card. They don't come with the Undercity card, which is a shame because it 100% could fit into the commander deck box. I don't think it comes with, yeah. So it's a nice surprise because it doesn't say, unless I am blind, it doesn't say anywhere that it comes with a oversized dungeon card. It says that it comes with an oversized D20 die, but it doesn't say. It could be here, like plus 2 reference cards, plus the big card. But I don't know why they missed the opportunity to put like the big card in here. I know that they don't do it because they have like a template in Photoshop and they just, or like Illustrator, and they just change the illustrations and keep the text more or less the same. That's why they have errors a lot of times. But I don't know, weird. I will expect them to, boast their chest about it, and they didn't. So you get this card, which is pretty cool. Now, when it comes to dividers, this one is pretty cool. This one is okay. Depends on whether you like this character that I can't remember the name for the life of me. So someone will put it in the comments, which I will appreciate because I don't remember the name. It's Minkambu or something like that. I don't remember. The insert is gorgeous because it has actually an explanation of what Baldur's Gate is, and you have this illustration that is personal choice, but it's in that retro style. I think it's cool, but this thing is what it hits. So that's cool. But no one buys the thing because of that. Maybe you bought it because of this, but that will be very random. This is a nice bonus though. Most people buy it because of the boosters, which are random. So, I think we got some good pulls, but it is what it is. And the actual reasons to buy it, you get the boosters, which is cool, but you get the box and the die. The die is certainly a die. I don't think I have another one in this set of colors, so this is kind of cool. It's kind of too intense for my taste, and it has this weird dot thing that they do, which, it's not horrible or anything, it's just weird. But easy to read, which is a lot better than what I can say for more recent dice. And the box is okay. Like, the box is like a 50-50 for me. It's like 50% because it has that dynamic box thing that I like, is an entire image that goes across the box. So I like that. And both sides kind of stand on their own. You have Boo here, and then you have Mink, I think. I don't remember the name of the guy. Then you have the guy here throwing the hamster. So this works, right? It's gorgeous on its own. It kind of has the illustration here on top too, because sometimes they put like the black top, which I don't personally appreciate, but it is what it is. And the die. So between these two, I think it's cool. And mostly and most importantly, if you are really into Dungeons and Dragons, this is cool. Now, the sad part is that a lot of the cool things, because I think this is cool, but I think this is amazing because they are actually character cards from Dungeons and Dragons. This is not a guaranteed pull, and it's a shame because these things are very useful and very cool to play D&D. So I would have hoped that all of them will be like this, right? Or even the ones that are like this, that they had like the D&D equivalent. So it's like, yeah, it's a card, but you can have like the D&D equivalent in the back so you can play D&D, because that will be like the joke of the collaboration, the point kind of. Even though both are from Wizards, so it is what it is. But hey, let me know down below. Let me know what you think about this set. Did you use the backgrounds for your commanders? Did you actually enjoy this set? Because there is a lot of debate here. I know that Pleasant Kenobi actually loves this set and defends it. And because of his video, my view of it actually changed a little bit. I don't hate it. To me, it's like yeah, we did that one. So in my head, it's always like Commander Legends. And then we had and we had Commander Masters. Commander Masters was just a cash grab. And then we had this one in the middle that I like visually. Like, I don't hate this. I like the idea of the backgrounds. I certainly love these art cards that, I like these lands. And the commander decks that were released are very good commander decks. But the set itself, I don't recall any of it. And I think that the problem is there is no obviously overpowered card. And because of that, there is no chase card that everyone was after, at least in my memory. And there is like no very memorable cards and whatnot that people went crazy over because this was a commander set and you didn't get something as broken as the Jewel Lotus or a reprint of it. So it is what it is. But to me, it was fun. And I am not the biggest D&D guy, but I appreciate the lore and the community and whatnot. So to me, it's cool. I played D&D a couple of times. And yeah, I reached the conclusion that the first times I played, I didn't like it. After that, I actually met a guy that is a great dungeon master. And that actually sparked my interest for the game because it was like, oh, you can do all this? And he was like, yeah. So he was of the philosophy of yes, and he was very good improvising, which my first experience was not like that. It was a person that was very controlling playing and was like, no, you can't do that. You have to do it this way. And it's like, well, I mean, for this, I might as well just play a video game, right? But with this other person, actually learned how to properly play, and how to the magic of using imagination in a railed system, kind of, and kind of cool. So yeah, I don't dislike this, and for the ladies, there is Astarion. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you had a great time. Let me know your opinion about this set, and if you bought it, and if you actually hate it, or you actually think it was okay, or it was just because too much expectation. And I hope to see you next time in the next Bundlemania, or in any video of this channel, the channel that loves you, packs, and recreation. Bye!